As so many stories do, ours opens in New York. You know, the city that never sleeps. Nelsonville, Ohio is a sleepy one-time coal boomtown at the northwestern corner of Appalachia. New York has a population of 8 million, Nelsonville 5,000, but both have one unwanted resident, childhood hunger. And both are showing how childhood hunger can be solved. Why do children still go to school hungry when there is plenty of food in the land of plenty? As our society has grown wealthier and our upscale lifestyles more luxurious, poverty stubbornly clings to the land. Since the year 2000, 7 million more U.S. citizens have been added to the rolls of the food insecure. Yet hunger is not an issue that divides Americans. All classes of society, people of all viewpoints, have united in a determination that no child will be left hungry.
I can tell you as a former teacher, you can't educate a child who's on an empty stomach.
The money's there, nobody's fighting about money, there's no politics involved, it's a win-win situation.
The U.S. military, surprised by the level of malnutrition among World War II recruits, pushed for the creation of the school lunch program in 1946. The school breakfast program followed 20 years later.
But for some families, the ability to have the resources or the time to provide breakfast to children before they go to school can be difficult. And the school breakfast program fills that gap.
Today, we're delivering on the promise of those programs and others like after-school programs, summer meals programs, food stamps, and WIC.
We believe we have the resources in the country and the programs in place to bring to the children to end hunger in the United States.
Join us to see how some remarkable organizations are turning child hunger into a solvable problem from the big city to the small town. Meet Jim Kautz. He runs the Appalachian Nutrition Network in the 29 counties of Ohio that are part of Appalachia. People living there experience the highest unemployment and the lowest per capita income in the state.
We've lost our jobs, that's why we're poor.
1 in 4 children experiences hunger at least once a month.
The child hunger issue, I think, comes back to a moral one. I mean, children shouldn't have to go hungry.
Your childhood builds who you are as an adult, emotionally, physically, and nutrition sure is a part of it.
If they're hungry, they're not ready to learn, they're not focused on their work, they're more concerned with one's lunch.
Yet the Appalachian Nutrition Network is a remarkable success story. It procures food, finds locations from schools to swimming pools where children are gathering, trains the local volunteers, and takes over filling out the required USDA documentation.
We go where they're already gathering in the summertime. Our job is to feed them. We ship the meals out to the sites, and eventually that meal ends up with a glass of milk in front of a child and is consumed.
A typical meal dispensing location is the Family Center in Nelsonville, a town where 41% of children live in families below the poverty line.
I don't think anyone comes in here without getting hugged. No.
Rhonda Bentley is a very special person. Rhonda loves kids, and they know it.
When you have a family of maybe 6 or 7 people, and you don't have the money to provide the food, and you aren't eligible maybe for food stamps, you do the best you can. But some of our kids are truly hungry.
What makes the Appalachian Nutrition Network so effective? Why is it looking at a 500% increase in the number of meals served over just 2 years?
Rhonda Bentley learned about our program, called, asked if we could feed her kids, gave us enough information for me to be able to say absolutely. I'll be right over. The Appalachian Nutrition Network during our first summer had never intended to get into after-school programs. At the end of the summer, Rhonda came to us, said, we run an after-school program, can you feed our kids there? And my staff immediately went to Columbus, went through the training, and came back, and we were in the after-school business within 30 days.
The Appalachian Nutrition Network served 50,000 meals to 3,000 kids in its first year. In its second year, the number was 250,000 meals to 11,000 children. This year, Jim Kaut's organization hopes to serve 500,000 meals.
Don't tell us that these barriers of transporting kids in the summertime and transporting food over large, don't tell us that that's impossible to solve. We've solved it. It can be done. It takes a lot of hard work.
That's why he's proud of what the Appalachian Nutrition Network and places like the Nelsonville Family Center have done.
One day, this little kid, he eats one of our meals, and he stands up and he pats his tummy, and he said, "So that's what it feels like to be full."
Cities are the historic home of poverty and hunger, with foreign immigrants and emigration from poorer areas of the country. Different people, different setting from rural areas like Nelsonville, but it's the same problem being addressed with the same dedication.
I don't think no child, not only in America but anywhere in the world, should be hungry.
The ones that are shy and withdrawn, if you get them to smile, you'll see a lot of their teeth are down in the gums, which means that they haven't had too much food or whatnot. This person really needs milk.
More than 30 million Americans face hunger. Over 1 million of them New Yorkers. Worse, some 400,000 children are dealing with food insecurity at a time of their life when they should be learning how to grow. The New York City Coalition Against Hunger provides assistance to 1,100 food sites.
It's absolutely unacceptable that the richest city in the country, in the richest country on the planet, in the history of the world, is letting children face hunger.
Childhood hunger is endemic in single-parent families, but also attacks families where both parents work. Not only is New York's cost of rents one of the highest in the nation, but one of the main reasons children go hungry here is that federal assistance programs are underutilized. Most eligible kids don't attend free after-school snack programs, and 80% of eligible students in New York don't get free school breakfasts.
The good news is we can virtually wipe out the entire problem overnight simply by increasing the use of existing federal nutrition assistance programs like the school breakfast program, like the after-school snacks program. There's no reason we shouldn't do that immediately.
Besides meals in school and during the summer, USDA, for instance, offers an after-school meal program for eligible children from ages 5 to 12. The program is at no charge, provided the child participates in a qualified program that has an enrichment or educational activity.
If you want public education to work, children have to be well fed. Solving childhood hunger is really a prerequisite for solving virtually every other social problem in America.
Joel Berg and Jim Kautz, one representing urban America and the other Appalachia, recognize that two things are critical to the fight to end hunger. First, we must create a national will to make the elimination of hunger our nation's first priority. And second, we must find ways for business, government, and nonprofit organizations to work together to improve the infrastructure of organizations feeding the hungry.
Poverty rips the heart and soul out of children.
If you just care about the long-term economic future of America, you've got to care about taking more action to reduce childhood hunger.
We must look at it as an investment in children and in their livelihood, in the way they grow, in the way that they think.
When it's hard for us, to get food, then at least I know that when they're in school, they're getting their breakfast and they're getting their lunch.
No child should go to bed with hunger. No child, nowhere.
I believe that those that have should help those that don't.